Previously on BYC Gaming.
This has clearly been a weapon that has been a part of his arsenal in his UFC career, but it takes a lot of repetitions in the gym and a lot of confidence to willingly throw elbows the way he did there. So a lot of force in a short distance, and when you execute it like that, it is absolutely devastating. All right, DC, no telestrator tonight, but we're going to get you some highlights from this one. This was a fight that had it all, and for my money, his best performance to date.
His best performance to date in the biggest moment. In the biggest moments, you got to show up, and that's exactly what he did tonight.
All right, so here's the former UFC welterweight champion. They also call him the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. Knocked out Robbie Lawler in 2016 to first win the belt, held it for several years, and still has the credentials as one of the best 170-pound fighters on
introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a kickboxer, holding a professional record of 15 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 168 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, Moraga.
All right, this is for the championship. You've been giving your instructions in the dressing room. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We will have a clean fight. Touch gloves. Let's make it official.
All right, so here we go with round 1 as the words will finally give way to the action. This is the UFC Welterweight Championship, and this will be the champion's first title defense. So he wrested the belt away earlier this year, now trying to defend the title at 170 pounds. You know there's an avalanche of contenders coming.
So many storylines as we open up episode number 6. Welcome to BYC Gaming, UFC 4. Man, let me tell you something. This is a true fight of redemption for our guy Edgardo Moraga, welterweight champion of the welterweight division in the UFC. And as you can see by the slam demonstrated by Mr. Woodley, this is the one opponent that gave us a lot of trouble. I mean, a whole lot of trouble. The only blemish, the only loss, the only L on our record is from this man, Tyron Woodley. So what we're hoping to do here is not only retain the title in a title match, we also don't want to submit, but we want to beat Tyron Woodley for giving us the only stain on our record. Let's get into it, man. Here in the first round, I told you, this is the same thing as the first fight. Almost, a minute or so in, he's got me fighting off my back, trying to figure out how to approach this guy. He pretty much takes away my leg kicks. I still throw them, but what ends up happening is he's doing those takedowns. His grappling, his wrestling, top notch, up to par. But boom, you see he gets hit with a big knee strike. He's down, he's hurt, and now you know what time it is. It's time to apply pressure. You see Moraga stepping in to land some shots. Throw some big knees here in the clinch. Beautiful Muay Thai from the Brazilian from Rio. And quite honestly, I thought I was doing my thing for quite some time, for that little stretch. And boom, Woodley gets me with a beautiful suplex, and now we're back on the ground. So, you know my tactics. The armbar, one of my best moves in the arsenal. Doesn't matter if you're talking about the ground game, the clinch, or the ground. Yeah, let me tell you something. My best move, that armbar, man. Do not let me get you in position to lock that armbar in. Now, didn't work in the first fight. As you can see, we're having a little struggle, but he's doing the majority of the struggling here as we try to lock in this submission with just under 2 minutes left in the round. But Woodley, being a fighter with a top-notch ground game, he gets out of it. We got just under a minute now at this point in the fight. We're now standing up, exchanging some punches. I got the better of him in the stand-up for the most part, but once again, he is scoring so many points, not just from the transitions, but obviously the takedowns. Big points being scored by Tyron Woodley on the ground. So here you see we have another submission attempt from Moraga. You know, my opinion at this point is like, hey man, if he's gonna keep taking me to the ground, I'm gonna have to make him regret it, and I'm gonna tire him out and keep getting him in these submission attempts. And so you see 8 seconds on the clock. We're trying to get him to tap. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, just as the round is coming down to an end, the fight is over. Tyron Woodley put up a great fight, man, but you know, I wanted to knock him out, but I also was not gonna let him hit me with ground and pound, just transition, just do all that on the ground. Every time we got on the ground, boom, you're going right into a submission attempt. That's pretty much how I fight with this guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. His defensive transitions and like ground defense is not top notch. But let me tell you something. That arm bar, that's something I go in the gym and work on, and I definitely apply it when need be. And it came through for me in the clutch here as Tyron Woodley was applying pressure, you know, whole bunch of takedowns, a whole lot of grappling, but we retained the title, and we are still UFC welterweight champions. We get our redemption on Tyron Woodley, and the belt is coming back home to Rio de Janeiro. So let me tell you something, man. Got Tyron down. Who's next, man? That's my attitude. Who's next? And you see, he's very emotional after the win, man. Dropping down to the knee, embracing the belt because he knows, man, Woodley was the one guy that was able to get him out of here. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's looking interesting, man. You know, I'm back in the gym now. I finally achieved those things I wanted to achieve.
That's how champions
You know,
train.
the gold is now on my neck. The gold's on my waist. The gold is no longer on the hair now. We now go into the brown, so you can see some of the designs that have been hiding in the hair because of the blonde. But we're number one, man. As you see the divisions, we got Usman, we got Covington, we got Woodley, we got all those guys out of there. We still got Mike Perry, we still got Masvidal, we still got Nate Diaz, we still got Dos Anjos. We beat Lawler, we beat Thompson, we beat Edwards. So now at this point, you gotta wonder, who are they gonna line us up against? If you even beat some of those other guys down there at the bottom, including Donald Cerrone. So you gotta wonder, who is next up for a title shot? Obviously, I would love to fight Masvidal just for the fact that both of our stand-up game is impeccable. Same thing for Nate Diaz. And if he wants to go to the ground, I know he's not going to be an easy person to submit. So I know that's going to be a good fight. Let's see how they match us up with in our next bout defending the belt.
He has said all here during fight week he's appreciative of this opportunity, but he is confident he is going to maximize it and leave as not just a contender, but a UFC champion.
So at the MGM Grand, I know you get a chance. USA. They want a new champ in Vegas for the most part. As Mike Perry steps into the ring, he is the one that's next up for a title shot as we go up and defend the title here again. Man, it felt good to beat Woodley, even if it wasn't the way we wanted to do it in a dominating KO type of fashion. But you know, a win is a win, and the submission almost had to be done the way that Woodley was taking us to the ground. So now we got a whole new fight against Mike Perry. I'm not too familiar with him as a fighter. Did a little bit of studying before the fight, but for the most part, we're gonna just go in there, outskill him, do what we do. Almost landed a beautiful jumping kick, but did not land there. Is now trying to throw that jab from afar. The one thing I can say I was enjoying about this fight is we were fighting in close corners. You know what I mean? We're definitely fighting on the inside, none of that outside, no leg kicks. It was a lot early on, it was a lot of punches thrown, you know. And boom, you see a big one landed there by Perry, and I need to parry and get out the way. But at this point, it's looking real bleak as we get hurt by an early shot from Mike Perry. As we move on, a nice shot there landed, but he returns with another left hook. That left hook has been landing for him. I had to take him down to the ground, catch my bearings for a second. So as I alluded to in a previous episode, we now switched over to the legacy controls. Now we got some different positions that we can throw some ground and pound strikes from, and I was very happy to do that in some of these future fights that you're going to see. Is here you see we got him in the side saddle and we're landing some brutal elbows.
We've seen some really good ground and pound fighters. This young man is as good as any we've ever seen.
So you see more elbows, more ground and pound from Barbosa, taking his time to tire out his opponent, really hurt him. So you see now the crucifix, landing some sharp elbows. Man, let me tell you something. This was getting ugly for my man right here. Actually, he must have some good scar tissue or something, because he did not start bleeding after all these shots early on. But man, these were some brutal shots in the ground and pound. He's doing his best to transition, but now that I'm in the legacy, it's like, oh man, now this is a whole different game now. Now I can really move around the way I want to. Like I said in the previous episode, if you're having trouble with the ground game, switch back to legacy. That's my best advice. Like, so much easier to transition on the ground because you kind of know what you're doing instead of just being forced to submit or ground and pound or whatnot. But speaking of submit, one of us is going to submit because these punches are just brutal. We are throwing some vicious shots. We are throwing some haymakers, some widow makers. That one knocks down Perry. He's almost out of it. I mean, I'm just stepping in, stepping out. Kick comes over the top. Just landing some flawless combos, man. Perry doesn't know what to do. And at this point, it is all over. And once again, Edgardo Moraga is back with another victory. And there you see respect given, you know, bowing to the corner. That was a good fight. I'm not going to deny that. Two opponents that had very different motives going in, but the same objective. You want to prove a point. You want to prove that you're better than Woodley in your first title defense, as well as the redemption for the first loss. He's going up against Perry. You want to prove that you still got hands too. As you can see, me and Perry were dancing in that ring, and he was not able to withstand the type of punishment that Moraga was dishing out. And once again, and still champion, still reigning strong. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I'm expecting more of this. I want to do this continuously, man. I mean, I want more of the knockouts though. Submissions are cool, you know what I'm saying? You know, nice to get the little bonus for the submission of the night, you know, but when you see that gold around my waist, it's because I can beat you in any aspect of the game. My takedown defense needs to improve in this next contract as we just earned, but we are going to set the standard for having ground game, having Muay Thai, definitely having those hands, you know what I'm saying? So this next contract, man, I'm definitely excited to see what happens. I hope you are too. Tune in to the next episode. Big things coming in the next one. This is BYC Gaming.